What's going on, Geeks and Gamers? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost and geeksandgamers.com, and even if we have no idea what they're doing, and specifically even if Lucasfilm has no idea what they're doing, or even who's going to be making these movies, they are still sticking to that 2022, 2024, and 2026 release dates for the next 3 Star Wars movies. You can see on this Screen Rant article, next Star Wars movie still scheduled to release in 2022. And they're talking about this Disney release calendar that you can see right here. Now, this is for everything that they have scheduled from now until all the way through like 2027, I believe. Obviously, a lot of stuff 2020, a lot of stuff 2021. It's not until we get to 2022 we see that first one that really catches our interest for what we are talking about, and that is this Untitled Star Wars right here on December 16th, 2022. And then again, 2024, Untitled Star Wars, and 2026, Untitled Star Wars, along with, look at all these new Avatar movies. We're going to get 4 new Avatar movies in the next 7 years. God, who wants that? I'm not sure. Other than Drunk 3PO, I know he wants that. But back to this, I'm not convinced that they have any idea who is going to be making these movies. And this article goes into it a little bit, so let's get into it. The next wave of Star Wars movies is still scheduled to begin in December 2022. While The Rise of Skywalker closed out Disney's sequel trilogy and capped off one era of the franchise's history, the galaxy far, far away isn't going away anytime soon. Well, that's not, their plans aren't to go away, that's for sure. Currently, Lucasfilm is preparing to launch the High Republic Publishing Initiative, Project Luminous. Yes, we talked about that. And they have multiple TV shows in the works for Disney+, including Mandalorian Season 2. Well, Mandalorian Season 2 is the only one that seems to be going off without a hitch. The Cassian Andor series, does anyone really think that that's ever going to come out? Who is interested in that? It's been in production for forever. They finally said they think they're ready, but oh, guess what? Scripts. The Kenobi series, we know that's pushed back due to scripts. Now, if they let that fall apart, that is going to be a historic failure to not get that thing going. But we're used to historic failures from Disney, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, and Disney Star Wars. This content will help keep fans occupied as the movies go on a self-imposed hiatus for the next couple years. At one point, it looked like the first Star Wars movie from David Benioff and D.B. Weiss was going to take the aforementioned December 2022 slot, but they parted ways with Lucasfilm due to creative differences. Sounds familiar to a lot of people that depart Lucasfilm for creative differences, doesn't it? Now, I'm going to get into speculation at the end of this video because I don't have anything other than just some little loose ends here and there, but I'm going to suspect what that was when we get down to it. In the meantime, the studio has multiple projects in development, including a Star Wars movie from Kevin Feige and a new trilogy from Rian Johnson, which is still officially on the table. Listen, just because no one has come out and officially said, by the way, Rian Johnson is not making a trilogy, I suppose technically maybe that means to you it is still officially on the table. I don't think there's very many people that believe that that will ever happen at this point in time, so maybe stop fooling yourselves, Screen Rant. There's been no word on which film will be the first out of the gate when Star Wars returns to the big screen, but Disney is still planning on kicking off the new slate in 2022. Now, this article didn't even mention the new Star Wars movie in development with Slight director and Luke Cage writer. Of course, this was announced about a week ago, and basically nobody cared, because it's almost like there's an apathy towards Star Wars movies at this point. But this did come out when they said it's still in its very early stages. They're still looking at developing, trying to figure out what is going on, whether it's going to be a theatrical release, whether it's going to be a Disney Plus release. So I do think that this J.D. Dillard movie likely is not going to be that 2022 release. But it brings into question, which will it be? Because you're getting to the time where you really need to start moving forward with this. If you remember, we were supposed to get an announcement about this back in January. Now, this isn't the only article like this. There were tons of articles like this after a Hollywood Reporter report in November of 2019, before The Rise of Skywalker. We got told that the next Star Wars movie announcement would be coming January 22 at the earliest, the one that was supposed to be set for release in December 2022. Now, of course, this was, right after Benioff and Weiss stepped away. Again, coming back to Benioff and Weiss, where we all thought that that was probably where it was going to go. But the announcement, January 22, has come and gone. Now February has come and gone. What are you doing, Lucasfilm? What is happening? Do you have any idea what you're doing? Are you just sticking to this release date? Are you going to rush another project? Are you going to have another Rise of Skywalker, another Solo, another disaster of a production on your hands? I think we all think that that's probably likely. Disney's latest release schedule features those 3 untitled Star Wars movies, like we said. Obviously, there aren't any plot details about these projects. Yeah, because they don't even know who's going to do it yet. That's why. But this illustrates, as recently as a few weeks ago, the Mouse House is banking on Star Wars being one of the main pre-Christmas draws, along with the Avatar sequels this decade. December 22 seems like a long way off, but it's fairly soon in movie terms. I 100% agree. They reportedly have a director lined up for the 2022 movie, not Johnson, and it'll be interesting to see who that is. We definitely expected that we would hear something. Now, they speculate maybe we will hear at Star Wars Celebration. I will be there at Star Wars Celebration in August. Maybe they'll make the announcement then. Maybe they will finally decide what they are doing and stop spinning their wheels trying to figure it out. Bob Iger is now gone. But Kathleen Kennedy is still there. We know that Kathleen Kennedy is the big problem with Lucasfilm. Of course, Iger allowed her to run Star Wars into the freaking ground. We know that. But Kathleen Kennedy is still there. Of course, it'll be fascinating to see what slate of Star Wars movies actually is. The only thing we know for sure is that it won't overlap with any High Republic books, giving creative maximum freedoms to their work. Now, that is where I wanted to speculate. Because originally, Project Luminous was also supposed to have an announcement in January that got pushed back. It got pushed back after, similarly, Benioff and Weiss left. Now, there are a ton of rumors around that Benioff and Weiss were working on something in the past. A lot of people reported Old Republic. But it seems more and more clear to me, and we also had reports months ago that the newest movies were going to be set in the High Republic era. So many people had that report out there, from Jason Ward to a Hungarian news site, several different sources confirming the same thing. Then Benioff and Weiss leave, and it turns out that no, High Republic is supposed to be its own thing now. I personally think that that's what happened. Benioff and Weiss were supposed to do this High Republic era, and they've sat there and waited, haven't gotten anybody else for this project. Maybe they can't find any real directors with any real experience that want to make a Star Wars movie at this point. We heard what Taika Waititi said. He was joking around, obviously, but Taika Waititi said, well, I don't know. I mean, I might consider doing a Star Wars movie. I didn't think it was a career killer, because that's, unfortunately, kind of the feeling around there right now is it's kind of cancerous to do a Star Wars movie. You think J.J. Abrams is happy going back there? You think he's happy with what happened for The Rise of Skywalker? I don't think so. But that is all, of course, speculation from me that that's what it was. At this point, who knows what these movies will be? We know they came out and said, well, they're not necessarily going to be a trilogy, but they could still be connected. We have no freaking idea. And the problem is, neither does Lucasfilm. I'm not convinced that they know who their director is going to be. I'm not convinced of that in any way, shape, or form. And neither should you, because quite honestly, what have they done to deserve our trust? But let me know what you guys think about this, about them sticking to their guns with these release dates, 2022, 2024, and 2026. Do you think it will happen? Are they going to try to rush another product out just to meet that deadline? Or are they actually going to take a deserved break? Because people do need a break from Lucasfilm doing what they've done to Disney Star Wars in the theaters. Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to Geeks and Gamers. Subscribe to my channel, Ryan Kindle RK Outpost. The link will be in the pinned comment below. Smash a like button. Ring the bell for notifications. Share this video out there. And I'll talk to you guys later.